All right, in this short video here, hopefully a short one, I'm going to kind of go over the Carista app in case some of you don't know about it or are interested in it. Kind of like what I mentioned in the video about the 3-button start on the vehicle for that mod. The Carista app is basically just a connector plus software that would hook up to your ODBII connector on your car to do diagnosis work and troubleshooting, and especially for the Lexus, there's some customizations that you can do with a lot of the features that Lexus has on their vehicles, things that you can turn on and off or manage a little differently. I thought I'd kind of go over that in case some of you people are interested in that. And so first off, on the website here, first thing I would do if you're looking at buying this particular item would be to do your vehicle check, which means just basically select which vehicle that you have, if it's not a Lexus, if it's something else, because depending on certain vehicles and models, the options can be kind of limited, whereas you can't do a lot of the functions of the app. So like for example, go down here to Tesla, for example. So we select Tesla. Let's just say Model X and the USA. And then as you can see on the right, with the Tesla using the Carista app, it's only able to do the basic diagnostics and basic service. Basic service, some has to do with the emissions test, and a few other things it doesn't list here. But as you see, the red X on advanced and customizations and advanced service. So for a Tesla owner, this wouldn't really be of much benefit to you because it doesn't do most of the hard diagnostics. So we'll reset it. We'll select the Lexus here at the top. We'll select the LS. And as you notice, it pulls up the different generations between the second and the current 5th generation. Because obviously the first generation of Lexus was the ODBII connector, which this doesn't work for. So we'll go into 4th gen, since mine's a 4th gen. And then you see the different options that it has that you can do. Customizations and so on. So for this particular example on the Lexus, this app will do a lot more. Now you notice the free area up here and here. If you download the app and you have the connector, which we'll get into in a second, that plugs into your ODBII connector, it's a Bluetooth that goes to your phone and uses the app. Where it says free, if you don't subscribe to their service, then those are the only 2 things that you can do with the app that don't cost you anything. The diagnostics is just a code reader. Sometimes some of the codes, what it does is it pulls up like a website, which kind of gives you an idea. So sometimes it's kind of vague as to what the problem is. Basic service again with the emissions testing. So, like I said, check your vehicle before you buy this particular item to see if it even is going to work. Now, once you decided to purchase, you will notice up in here or see pricing. So you have a month subscription for $10, a 3-month, and a 12-month, or a yearly for $50. Over here you'll see the Carista OBD2 adapter, but it does come a 1-month trial of the paid features, so it gives you 1 month of the subscription. So if you buy the adapter for $30, but you don't pay for the subscription, then that's when you have those items that are free, which is just your basic code reader. Now, on mine, I can't remember if I did any of this, because when I bought this app a few years ago, they didn't have a subscription. They just had free, or you paid for it. And I believe I remember paying something for it extra. So I don't know at the moment what mine will do until I get out to the car and we can look at that. So, but if you're have more than one vehicle and you're trying to maintain them all, this might be just an option to spend $50 for the year and then let it run and see how well you use it the first year, and then go from there. And so like I said, you can buy their adapter. If you buy their adapter, there's these other apps that you can use alongside of their adapter. So you have the Carista app, then you have these other ones that you can check out. Some are free, some are, you get free and then you pay for extra features. So some of these apps might be of interest, especially if you're into racing or just want more of the performance diagnostics while the vehicle's running. So this might be of interest. Now, when you download the app from, let's just say the App Store for an Apple. Now, so this obviously is through my MacBook, so it's not, you can't use the app through the MacBook. But anyway, I just want to give this as an example. Kind of goes over the stuff that you can do that kind of already explained, some basic service that's free and stuff the advanced stuff that you pay for, and what options are there depending on your vehicle and how much availability there is with the app on that particular vehicle. At the bottom, you will notice to use the Carista app. Get out of there. So if you notice down here, to use this app, you need an ODBII adapter. You can use the Carista one. Then a list a few others that are available that will work with the app. So you don't necessarily have to buy the Carista app adapter. You may already own one of these others, or you may look into these others, and maybe it's cheaper, or maybe it has some more options with different apps. So you do have some options there. But take it back over to here. Like I said, we got the pricing, the supported apps, and the vehicles. When you go into the adapter, that's what it looks like right there. Just it comes in a little plastic case with a little slide cover like that. Again, a picture with the case on it, what the inside connector pins look like, which go into your under your dash or wherever that hookup is, and another picture of that. So it does work with Apple and Android. So anyway, I want to kind of cover this before we looked at the app. So like I said, I've owned it for probably 3 to 4 years. I can't remember when I bought it, but we'll look at it and the app on my phone and then kind of show you what it can do. But a lot of the customizations on, for example, the LS, if you read your manual, it'll kind of go through some of the stuff you can do with as far as, the window features, when it locks and unlocks doors and stuff like that. There's some other stuff that's in there. Some of the stuff you can do without the aid of this. Some stuff you can't do. Some stuff you have to go to the dealer to do it. And this is where this kind of fills that gap. Some of the things that it would be a dealer-only thing, this thing would have the possibility of customizing it yourself instead of having to pay the dealer to do it. So like I said, I just want to kind of cover this since I kind of mentioned it in the other video, and this would be a good time to cover it. So we'll move on to the what the app looks like, and then go from there. All right, just real quickly, I want to show you that this is the adapter again, and I bought a few years ago. So I'm going to hook this into the vehicle, and you can start the car, or you can just put it on the accessories, so the app can read the vehicle through the adapter, because it needs the power to run to the adapter. So we'll do that next, and we'll show you on the app. Just to show you, in case some of you didn't know where the adapter port was on the LS. So underneath the driver's side, see that? If I can get it to focus, there's the adapter plugged in. So it's right underneath the driver's side. Once you plug it in, it'll turn on. So you'll see the glow of the light in the adapter. Just wanted to show that to you in case some of you didn't know where it was under the dash. Okay, so here we are in the app. If you're doing this for the first time, or you haven't used it in a while, as soon as you launch the Carista app, it'll ask you what type of adapter you are using. So you just select one of the options that it gives you. Of course, the one is going to be the Carista adapter. Just make sure your Bluetooth is turned on your phone, which it probably already is anyway. So when you open up the app, you have these three buttons: the diagnose, the customizing the service. Your menu option would be, your help, customer service, supported vehicles, and so on. Restore purchases would be if you did a purchase, but maybe you upgraded your phone to a different phone and you reinstalled it. So you want to make sure that app is going to work with the subscription that you have purchased already on the old phone. So it just transfers that over. So we'll go into diagnose. It'll do the basic OBD2 readings. This part can take a few minutes, so I might speed through some of this just to save some time. Okay, so I did 47 scans, ECUs. It found 5 faults. So let me look at instrument cluster. Power steering control system invalid. I've seen this before. What happens if I hit reset? Okay. Heating, air conditioning. So it says the solar sensor circuit, drivers and passenger side, rear solar sensor. You'll always get those, because if you do this inside, you'll get those codes, because it's looking for the sunlight, and we're in the garage, so it's going to say it can't read it, so there's no information. So you'll always get those. If you do this outside on a sunny day, you shouldn't get those codes. If you do get those codes, then there's something wrong with the solar. Airbags, I don't know what it says, failed to check. It won't give me any information there. And let's see, self parking system and the power steering system control. That has to do with it. I'm going to try it and see if this will actually reset it. So it reset that. I'm not sure if that'll come back or not. So the 2 error messages that I could actually do anything with dealt with the power steering control unit, which I've seen that before. And there's nothing wrong with the power steering system. I think there's just something that it thinks it's wrong. But anyways, you can clear those this way. I could reset those, but I know those aren't really valid entries. So we go back, we go to customize. All right, here we are. So once it does all of the scanning, so it gives you a list of things you can probably check on, like windows and sunroof. If you open that up, you open windows via long press on remote is turned off. Close windows and sunroof via smart key is turned on. Open windows and sunroof by turning and holding key in door lock, which I tried that. I didn't see that working. Close windows and sunroof by turning and holding key in door lock, which I've heard this. You can do this. I don't know if it applies to the 07, but I did turn off the open windows via long press on remote, because like I said in that other video, if you're within range and your fob is in your pocket and it presses up against something on that button, you can trigger that after a few seconds and all your windows go down and your sunroof pops open, and then you don't realize it because you're not looking at the vehicle and you walk off. So I turned that off on mine. The other ones are on. I haven't really tested that, but I know when I stuck the key in the door lock, I couldn't get it to do that, but I've heard it's possible. See what other says. Panic function on remote enabled. Rear down, roll down rear shade when on reverse, which is yes. Delay for rolling down rear shade in reverse. You can play with the seconds. So if you wanted to take a little bit longer before you put it in reverse, but 0.7 seconds is probably the right amount of time by the time you shift it into reverse, and you'll actually look in the rearview mirror. So that's probably about right. I wouldn't do much more than that. Trunk. Talks about the using the remote. You can do single click. You can do double click. That's just to keep you again from accidentally hitting that button when you don't mean to, and you manage to be close enough for that signal to reach the car. So I might do on a double click. That happened to me once where I was walking into this grocery store, and I don't know when I must have hit it, but the trunk popped open, and it was open the whole time I was in the store until I came back out. But luckily nothing happened, and luckily there was nothing in the trunk. And the rest of the stuff there. I'm going to go over here to dings and warnings. Seatbelt warning, driver, passenger, the volume, key in, ignition, ding sound, slow. You can speed that up. Remote low key warning on, so if it tells you if your battery on your fob is getting low, it pops up on your dash. You can see the stuff there. So some of these you may never mess with, but you might. Let's go to locking automatic. So auto lock doors when moving is on. That's when you put it into drive and you start driving off. After a few seconds, all the doors will lock. Or you can switch it to, as soon as you shift it into gear, it automatically locks the doors. Mine, I have it set to unlock the doors when you shift it into park. So if you lock the doors, as soon as you shift into park, all the doors unlock. Relock doors automatically if you unlock but don't open the door. That's pretty much standard. So if you hit unlock but you don't get in, it automatically locks itself. Then you can do the time, how long it waits. I set at 1 minute. So as you can see, there's just things you can kind of look at, and it varies by vehicle, make and model, what it can do, what it can't do. I'm looking at display now, the dimming, and a whole lot there, language and units, and some cluster language display. I wonder if it can, I wonder if it'll let you change that. So you can go between Spanish and English, it looks like. And you can do between, kilometers and stuff if you want to switch it. I haven't tried that, but Might be a benefit to somebody. Lights interior. Turn on interior lights when you shut the engine, which is pretty standard. Dim lights after 15 seconds. Pretty much everything's turned on. The exterior lights is what I was wondering. If you notice, here's the one that people kind of wonder about, the daytime running lights. If you want to disable those so they're not on all the time, you can do that. If for some reason you wanted to do that, I know there's some mods you can do with those lights, because the daytime running lights are also the same as the headlights, not the headlights, but the high beams. So sometimes that interferes and people turn off the daytime running lights. But that's where you can go to do that. So we'll back out of there. We'll go to service. And see how long this takes. I might speed through this and chop to the end of it. Okay. That didn't take too long. You can do tire pressure sensors. Let's see if it reads the tire pressure monitor sensors. I'm curious about that because all mine are working. I replaced all those a few years ago. Okay, so it does read. It reads the sensors, so you know what IDs are on there. Sensor ID. I can edit the name. You can save, cancel. I guess you would type in the new sensor number. So I guess if you were going to swap one of these out and you had a new one, you would have the ID on the sensor. Then you could pull one of these off, type in the new number, and then it would activate it. So that's kind of what it's looking at. So 1 through 5 to the spare has one, of course, obviously. ABS track inspection. We're going to skip the ECU read. That was taking a little too long. On the ABS VSC track inspection, not sure why you would want to disable it. It's just ways to disable it. To enable it. Yeah, so I don't know why you would want to disable it. It must be some type of reason, maybe if you're working on that component, that you would want to disable that. So I'm not sure. Maybe somebody else knows the answer to that and can let people know in the bottom. Emissions test. I'm not sure how long. If that's the way it's testing, I'm not sure. It doesn't really give you any information. Just says ready on every one of those. So it's a simple one. So that's pretty much it. I skipped out of the detailed ECU. It was just taking way too long. I think it just reads what information is on the ECU. I doubt there's anything really useful on our end. But anyway, I just want to kind of go over this app for anybody who was interested. Maybe they heard about it or didn't know about it. It might be something they might like. Like I said, the customization features is good. It just depends. Those are things that probably once you set it, you're probably not going to mess with it again unless, something changes or you just want to try something else. But once you kind of go through them all. Like I said, some of that stuff you can do without the aid of the app. If you read your manual, it'll tell you how to do certain things. But a lot of this other stuff you can't do unless you go to the dealer and they plug in their tech stream. So if you one of the people out there who has a tech stream on an old laptop like I do, I just rarely ever use it because you can really get into trouble if you don't watch what you're doing in there. You can do a lot of the same stuff on that as this would do. It's just the same options for customization. So reading the codes, that's good. You can kind of solve that. Like I said, there are probably some other code readers that you may have, or maybe do just the same. This company does very well at putting this all together in an easy to understand package. So unless you have any questions, let me know. But that's about it for this video. Just wanted to show it to you, like I said, since I kind of touched on it on another video. Anyway, thank you much.